a match tomorrow against Polokwane City at FNB Stadium, our home ground, at night at 7:30. And as you know, it's difficult to get good crowds midweek FNB, especially after a bumper that we had in Cape Town. So it's always a challenge. So we rely on you members of the media to assist, spread the message that the match is happening tomorrow. With me standing by is Brandon, who's going to tell us more of what is happening in the team. And Brandon, thank you very much and good morning.
Good morning, leader.
Sure. Please give us a sense of what's happening in the camp, the newness, the game that you already played, the new players and stuff like that, just in brief.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I think firstly, obviously a good start to the season for us. Great victory against Stellenbosch. Now we always enjoy playing Stellenbosch. It's always a tough game. And I think we applied ourselves quite well. I mean, the main target was obviously to start the season well, to get come back with 3 points, and I mean we achieved that. In terms of the team, I think we are doing very well as a unit. I think this season you can see the hunger, the fight, the togetherness that we showed in the Stellenbosch game. I think obviously the main concern, if you look at last season also, there's consistency. So I think for us is now to build on this. Obviously the schedule is packed, and I think it's a blessing for us that we are playing tomorrow again. Because I think for us it's important to keep that momentum going. So I'm excited. I mean, the new guys in the team, they've all raised their hands. You can see that they're not just here to add numbers, they're here to fight for a place and to obviously try and consolidate their place in the team. So looking forward to the rest of the season, starting tomorrow, our second game, our first home game, and we're really looking forward to a good encounter.
Members of the media, we're not having a roving mic or sound, so please speak up so that the people can hear to respond. I'm not going to interrupt you. Whoever goes first will get a nod, but you had your hand first. Most of it,
Tema Shabalala, Joseph from Sports. Lisa, you, of course, you're one of the senior players in the team, but just take us through the departure of Matt, because we haven't heard your opinions on that, and the incoming captain, Miguel. Just take us through the leadership structures within the squad, looking at the new players that you've actually mentioned that they look up to you guys. Yeah?
I think there's quite a few leaders in the team, in terms of I mean, guys lead in different ways. Some lead by example, some lead by word of mouth. So I think we have quite a few different characters, different leaders in the group. I think Yusuf was a great leader. He's been with the team for a while, and good relationship with most of the players. So I think with him going, I mean, it's a good move for him. You always want to see your fellow teammates and players, taking that next step in their careers. So I think it's a good move for him. In terms of leadership in the team, I mean, Miguel is a natural leader, and I think he's the one that leads by action. You can see the way he plays, the way he conducts himself, and there's a lot of guys that looks up to him in terms of that. So I think within the team we have quite a few good, solid leaders, and I think the important thing is for us as leaders to come together and just try and stay the course, and guide the younger ones, and obviously when we see that things are not going the way it's supposed to go, it's for us to put up our hands and try and realign everything.
Peterson, you talked about the new guys in the team and what they are contributing. Talking about them, you have seen them in pre-season in Netherlands, you saw them during the Toyota Cup, and Those some didn't play over the weekend, but you have been training with them. What can you say about not each of them, but what they are contributing? You can say who and who is contributing what and what, but maybe individually, what difference are they bringing to the team?
I think the main thing that I would say is that, you know, when you join a new team, you tend to take time before you settle in, before you become yourself, you know, because you're not sure, can I be myself? What should I do? What shouldn't I do? But I think with the group that came in, a lot of them has stemmed the authority already, you know, coming in, showing the guys that's been here that, look, I'm not here, like I said earlier, I'm not here to add numbers. I'm here to compete, and I want to consolidate my place in the team. And I mean, a few of them didn't play this weekend for obvious reasons, but I think they bring that hunger, that desire to do well for the team, and not come here and show people that how good they are as an individual, but more that what they can contribute towards the team's success. So I mean, if you look at Ndlovu came on, played this weekend, you know, you could see it's like he's been playing with us for long, you know. I mean, he brings that experience as well. And a lot of the guys that came in, you know, I was excited to see them in pre-season, you know. Some of them didn't join us, obviously, in Holland. But coming back here, playing the Toyota Cup, and also playing some friendlies, you know, you could see that energy, you know, that positivity. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them play more league matches and contribute positively towards the team.
Pisa, you guys haven't like particularly done well at FNB over the past couple of seasons, but you know it's 3 games back to back now at home. Is it like an easy way to look at it, saying, guys, we are down for 3 consecutive league games, we need to get 9 points out of this, even though ending the month with Mamelodi Sundowns the champions?
I think for sure, I think it's time we start making FNB a fortress, you know. Teams, for me, teams should be scared to come to FNB. Yeah, like you say, in the past, we haven't done well at FNB, but I think it's time for us to change that. And, you know, what better way than 3 consecutive home games for us, you know. So starting tomorrow, you know, I think that will be the first step, you know, towards that goal. So I think I'm looking forward to it, because I know the guys are excited. You know, obviously we've been away from home for pre-season, and obviously went to Cape Town now and all of that. So I think the guys are excited to have their own people coming out to watch them, and hopefully tomorrow we can change that fortune.
Let's give credit where it's due, because of when the Chiefs were down, we'd see you on the bench running the team. Even in training, you'd see the positive steps that you're taking towards building the capacity within the goalkeeping department. And there was a time when Chiefs were down. So I want to find out from you, how do you get the spirit of just running around and having to move so much on the bench?
I think, like I said earlier, there's different ways of leading. You know, I think it's, for me, that's the type of person I am. You know, I always try and lead from where I am at the moment, whether I'm on the bench, whether I'm in the stands, whether I'm playing. So I think it's important, because also a lot of guys, when you feel pressure, you know, some of us might tend to cripple. But I feel that when we have people within that's been around the block, that can help us to just stay sane, I think that can help you to a certain extent. You know, for me, it's all about injecting positivity. You know, because when there's chances are, when you're being negative or trying to push people down, the team is not gonna rise. You know, and you also, as a person, you don't grow. So for me, it's to help where I can. Whether I'm playing, whether I'm not playing, I'll always be there, I'll always support, and I'll always stand behind my players.
Brandon, speak to us about the importance of continuing that winning momentum going into the next game, and of course collecting points as early as possible in the season.
I think it's very important, you know, to collect points at the start of the season, especially considering how congested the schedule is. and obviously we have CAF responsibilities also. So I think for us it's important to build on this past weekend, from the positive result we got. And I think in the past we have failed to do that, where we find ourselves playing catch up at the end and starting to do calculations to see where and how. And I think that comes from not picking up points early in the season. You've seen it with other teams when they pick up the points early in the season. When it comes to the end of the season, they cruise. So I think it's important for us this season to make that a priority for us to make sure that every game that's at stake, we get maximum points, so that when we come in the long run, we don't have to look back and say we should have, we could have, we would have. So let's just take it one game at a time and make sure we collect maximum points each game.
Thank you. Many hands, sorry, but we will try to do them all. Your question is very quick and direct. Let's start here, please.
Sure, these are the last line of defense, and obviously clean slates are quite important for you, particularly goalkeepers. Did what you did against Stellenbosch speak to? Remember, like it was very bad last season. I mean, you conceded so many goals, and obviously your next opponent, they always have a way to breach your back line. I mean, talk us through that. Was that a good omen now leading into the season? A solid Chiefs defense.
I think they always say that your defense can win you championships, And I think from the start of preseason, like until now, you can see a difference in the way we're defending. Not just our defenders, but as a team. There's more urgency when we don't have the ball. There's more work being done without the ball. And I think that's very important for us, because we want the ball all the time. But what do we do when we lose the ball? So I think that's been something that we've been working really hard on, in terms of not conceding goals. And I think the synergy, the understanding has become much better amongst the players in terms of what we do without the ball. So this past season, clean sheets, obviously, as goalkeepers and defenders, that's what we want. But I think most importantly for us, it's the 3 points. I'm not saying that we should concede 5 goals and win 6-5. But I think it's important to have a solid defense, but a solid unit in general, like as a team, as a collective, is what is our responsibility without the ball. And I think this season, what we've showed this far is that the guys can see that has been letting us down in the past. And we've really, I think, flipped the switch in terms of doing our job without the ball.
Guys like Monique, guys like Aiden McCarthy and Ladies Pomwane made quite an impression in the first game. How does the youth factor that's emerging into the first team motivate you guys? Because I mean, these are guys that's coming from the DDC team and making such a positive impression in their first few outings in the first team.
I think I'm always excited seeing younger players coming up into the first team and shining. I mean, we've all been there at one stage in our career, and we know the feeling. And also the time that we got promoted, the senior players that was there was quite hard on us, And I think it's a different generation, but for me, I was happy. I was smiling to see the performance of like your Aidens and your Hlongwanes, because I could see the work that was put in, during the preseason by them, the determination, the hunger to show that, okay, I'm not going to come here and as a youngster and just, run around when you need me, coach, I'm here. But it's for me to stand my authority and say, coach, I'm ready to play, And when given the opportunity, like they were given on the weekend, they raised their hands and they were phenomenal. So I think for us also, the rest in the team, it shows us that it keeps us on our toes, because there's a new generation coming through. But for me, in terms of leadership, keeping them grounded and making sure that they don't just ride the wave. you know, because it's important to stay grounded and not, when you have a good performance, ride that wave all the way, because for 2 games, 3 games, you can be very good. 1 game, you have a bad game. How do you bounce back from that? So I think it's important for us also as a group to keep each other accountable in terms of not getting carried away by past performances. Yes, obviously that's a stepping stone for us to improve and to do better in the next games. But I think they did exceptionally well, and I think we should just do our best and try protect, you know, their sanity and all of that, because we know what comes with all of that. So it's important for us to stay together, to stay as a group, play as a group, and not like single out individuals, because sometimes that pressure can mount on you and it can cripple you, you know. So it's to keep them sane and to just help them grow.
Last one, we are running out of time.
Kaizer, very lovely to see you. This past weekend, we also learned about your opponents from the CAF Confed. It's been a while since Chiefs have played in CAF interclub competitions. What's been your reaction, especially to see what playing on the continent can do, looking at where Sundowns is coming from?
Obviously, we're excited for playing CAF, you know. But I think, obviously, the draw was done and all of that, and we found out who our opposition will be. But I think the main focus now shouldn't be the CAF, you know. It should be the next league game for us, and that's where we are focusing on at the moment. Yes, definitely, we're excited and we want to do well in the continent, because we can see in the past season how well the South African teams did, and us as Chiefs, you know, that's where we want to compete. That's where we want to be. So hopefully when it comes to that time, that with all our positive results in the league, you know, we will carry that momentum into the CAF and then just perform well in the CAF.
Thank you. We close it.